groups the other day, someone asked, what's the proper way to scramble an egg? And predictably, there were hundreds of answers. And so, I thought I would address some of the things that were discussed in that thread and show you how I scrambled eggs. And I'm kind of an old school person. I scramble eggs the way I saw Julia Child do it 40 years ago. And have always been happy with them. So I'm going to show you how I do it. The first thing is eggs. If you're going to scramble eggs, get good eggs. These are my backyard eggs. If you can't get backyard eggs because you don't have backyard chickens, at least get good eggs. Free range, cage free, organic. You can surely tell the difference in the quality of eggs. These eggs were, I don't know exactly what day they were laid because I get 4, 5, or 6 eggs a day. Some days 7, and I have 7 chickens. Actually, I have 7 hens. I also have a rooster. So get fresh eggs. That makes a difference. When you are cracking eggs, crack them one at a time into a separate bowl. There really is a reason for that, because what if one of your eggs was bad and you already had 2 or 3 in the bowl, and you cracked an egg in, you've lost them all. You also do want to inspect your eggs. So, 2 eggs. You actually don't have to beat them yet. You can beat them directly in the pan. I'm going to beat these lightly. Please don't beat them all to heck. Just beat them lightly. At this point, you will notice I do not put salt and pepper in yet. You could put pepper in. The salt will start to dry your eggs. Add your salt later. One of the goals in a perfect scrambled eggs, in my humble opinion, is to keep the moisture in. You don't have to add any moisture. You don't have to add water. You don't have to add cream. And if you go back and do some research with different chefs, you will find most of them add nothing except the butter. And in the butter, there is cream. Yes, it's still full of milk solids, and there is water. So there's no need to add more. Okay, my nonstick pan, which should always be the smallest one that you can use for your eggs. Having too big a pan causes the eggs to dry out. And our goal here is to maintain the moisture in our eggs. So that's just barely sizzling. I'm going to leave this on low heat the whole time. This is 2 eggs. And it should be moving all along. If you'll see, it's starting to cook on the bottom. And I'm pulling it away with a silicone spatula. And boy, all those years ago I didn't have a silicone spatula. I would use a little wooden spoon. But I really love the silicone spatula. What I have found over the years is that if you're cooking something and it's not quite the way you want it, and you can't quite figure out what to change, and you try to change your ingredients, you add things and it's still not what you want, almost always it's the temperature that you want to change. If you're frying and your food is greasy, your temperature is too low. If you're cooking and the food is rubbery, your temperature is too high. So before you start changing ingredients, try changing your heat. So this is on a very low heat, but you see, it's eggs. It still doesn't take long. I used butter. I often like to use bacon drippings. I also often like to take the leftover fat from cooking sausage. You know, it's different flavor. And it's yummy. Gonna get my salt and pepper ready. Because really, you don't do salt and pepper, or you don't do salt, until after the egg is done. And of course, the perfect scrambled egg, in my humble opinion, doesn't have any brown spots on it. It's egg colored. Okay, turning the heat off. The little bit of heat that's in the pan will finish cooking them. Sprinkle of salt. Sprinkle of pepper, and I use red pepper, I don't use black pepper. Rarely do I use black pepper. At this point you can decide, do you want them soft still? Soft scrambled egg? Do you want them well done? Eggs get rubbery now if you cook them too long. So I like to have mine just done. And that's breakfast. Wish I had some bacon. Be right back.